closure is not a two-way thing. You can find closure within you. Okay, you and you can have a conversation and be like, is it over, Sam? It's over. Okay, that's closure. Because I've made my decision based upon what I have, the data I have, whatever that may be for me, and whatever that may be for you. A lot of people are like, oh, I need to sit down and have a conversation with my ex and have closure. No, that's reconciliation. What do we need to talk about? What do we need to figure out? A lot of times, y'all, we be hooked up or stuck on questions that need to be answered for so long, and it keeps us from moving forward. And that's how I know it's the enemy that's sending those things to us. It's the enemy that's keeping us stuck. The enemy doesn't want you to continue, to win, to get further. He's going to use little meaningless things to keep you stuck and thinking about where you are right now so you can't progress. So do not get caught up in this, oh, we need to have a closure conversation. I need a sorry. No, you can move on without a sorry. What's up, family? Y'all know it's your girl, Samantha Lee. What's going on, everybody? I hope you guys are doing well. And so today, you guys, I want to talk about the 5 signs that she is not wifey material. Do not wife this type of woman. Okay, I'm going to give you 5 signs. I actually have a list of 11, but y'all know I'm long-winded. So I want to make sure that when I'm telling you guys these signs, that you're getting the examples. How I will break it down to my own brother is how I'm going to break it down to y'all. Okay, so pay attention, get your pen and paper out. But before I get into that, I need you guys to do 3 things for me. 3 things, okay? Number 1, if you like the content that I'm putting out into the YouTube space, if you will, please hit the subscribe button. I would love for you guys to be a part of our fast-growing Game Changer Nation. Y'all, I think we might be at 376,000 subscribers. And y'all, I'm the journey with YouTube is a whole nother video, but I would love for you to be a part of our Game Changer Nation. Number 2, hit the like button. It's absolutely free to you, and it helps us get back into the algorithm. Y'all know I was on a little bit of a punishment, and so I'm trying to get back. Okay? So hit that like button. It's absolutely free to you. Number 3 is that I will have a pinned comment below that's going to have a link to an ebook that's absolutely free. My gift to you guys called Finding the Perfect Match, Avoiding the Wrong Women. If you guys go ahead and click that, you will be part of an email list, an email chain. And yeah, you get to be updated on all things Love Samantha Lee and communicate with me and my team directly. All right. So with all that being said, I'm going to get into the meat of the message. Let's get into it. 5 signs that she's not wifey material. Now, the first thing that I put on this list, you guys, is that number 1, she does not take accountability for her actions. She lacks humility. You guys, I've talked to a lot of young men, and they talk about, the women that they're dealing with. And I think that a lot of times like, oh, well, I told her that, she was doing this or she was doing that, turn into an argument. Or there's a lot of like conversation about like, oh, she blames other people. She has a victim mentality. It's always someone else's fault. It's never her fault. There's nothing that she can do better. And it's everybody else, the universe is against her. You guys, this is problematic. This is not something that you sit here and just kind of like talk to, date. I've made mistakes in the past. I've dated people that do not take accountability. And it's a very challenging relationship to be in when somebody thinks that they know it all, when somebody thinks, oh, I'm just above all that. Life is a learning process. We will learn lessons at all aspects of our life at every single stage. No one knows everything. And so to not have or to lack humility and say, hey, listen, I messed up. It's like, it's easy for us to say, oh, I'm imperfect. Oh, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. We say that all the time. But as soon as somebody brings something to your attention that you need to work on, you take offense. You all over the place. You're bringing up things that they did to discount what you did and to just gaslight somebody into looking in a different direction versus taking accountability for yourself. That's a weakness, y'all. That's a weakness. And you don't want to continue to mess around with that. That's a lack of maturity. And I would honestly say, as a person that is not that secure with themselves, I think that as I've gotten more secure with myself and my journey, that's all I can relate to. I was able to hold the fact that I wasn't perfect, and I was able to recognize that I could do things better. Like, it wasn't, when someone was saying something about me, it wasn't an attack on me. It was just a way I could do things better. And I think a lot of people, they don't want to say, oh, I could have done this better, or I did this wrong, or, like, apologize for some of the things that they do, or making someone feel disrespected or not valued or whatever. We don't want to apologize. We don't want to admit that we're wrong. And I think that there's a strength with that. I actually personally am very attracted at this point in my life to a man who takes accountability. That is probably one of the most attractive things, when someone can say, I did this, I messed up, blah, blah, blah. I could have done this better. That means, like, even if it's like a horrible truth, I would rather that than someone BS me. Because y'all, we know, our gut tells us when people are BSing us. We know. Okay. So that's a big sign for me that someone's not wife material, because in a relationship, in any type of long-term relationship, whether you get married, whether you stay together for a long time, whatever partnership, whatever type or form of relationship you desire, somebody has to take accountability. Like, and it can't just be one person, because guess what? That causes resentment, right? Then you're like, I'm always the bigger person. I'm always the one apologizing. I'm always the one making it right. This person just finds new things to be wrong with me, while I continue to tap dance to make you okay with me. No, you can keep that. I'm done with this. It builds up a wall in the relationship, and you need two people. For a relationship to work, you need two people fighting for the relationship. Okay? That's important. Number 2, unwilling to compromise. Relationships are all about compromise. And you guys, you will be surprised how many, dating shows I watch. And you guys, I analyze it. I analyze these shows. I be psychoanalyzing these people. They don't even know me. I'm over here like, why are you doing that? But most of the people that I see is that a lot of women want husbands, but they are not prepared or ill prepared to be somebody's wife. They are not ready to be nobody's wife. Okay. So when I see some of these things, I'm like, you want so badly to walk down this aisle and say, I do to somebody, but you are unwilling to compromise. Like, you're on your square and you're not moving. All marriage is compromise. That's all it is. It's literally a walking compromise, because you've got two people with two completely different wills and two completely different set of assets that they're good at. Like, I might be good at this and that, and the person I'm with is going to be good at other things. We come together, and they may know more about this, so I got to compromise, or I may know more about that, so then I got to compromise. Like, it's a back and forth. That's what makes the relationship so beautiful, is two people coming together. If you are unwilling to compromise, that's a red flag, because that's all this whole relationship game is compromising. Or even if a man you're with is uncompromising, oh, I'm on my square and I'm not moving. It's like, that's not an effective way to run a relationship. You might as well be by yourself and just date people. Just, casually date people, because relationships, especially meaningful ones with people that you value, are going to require compromise. That's just what it is. Okay. I know that when I go into a relationship, as an example, that there are things that I'm going to have to tailor. There's going to be things that I'm going to have to, revamp, because that person may want certain things, not want certain things. Some things may make them comfortable and some things may not. There's maybe ways I go about, whatever that may be. I'm prepared for that. I'm not sitting here unrealistic, like, no, I do what I want, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and you're just going to have to deal with me. Like, no, we're not two. We're grown people, and we're all being, raised differently. We come from different backgrounds. So it is unrealistic for you to think that a relationship is not going to, on some level, ask you to compromise, even on the most minor of things. So I think that when people are so stuck in their ways, that's a red flag to me. Red flag. Number 3, selfish or egocentric. When a relationship is all about the other person, y'all, everybody wants to feel valued. Everybody does. It's not just this person or that person. I think that relationships can feel really challenging with people when they're only thinking about how this person's supposed to meet my needs, not thinking about how they can meet somebody else's needs. It's like me, 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 me. My relationship is about me. I want you to show up. I want you to do this for me and that for me. And guys, you know, I get to a place even in my own journey, which I'll do my own video for women as it relates to men. But when people, and even in the pursuing thing, it's like they want you to kind of audition and tap dance. I don't think anybody should audition or tap dance to get somebody to like them. Either you like me or you don't. Either you want me or you don't. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it like, if I feel like I got to perform or that person feels like they got to perform, it's not authentic. We're putting on a show for somebody. I want it to be a genuine exchange where I'm me, you, and you feel safe to be that. I feel safe to be me, and we can share in each other's space and exchange energy. That's what I think is what the best kind of dating situation is. But when we don't leave space for people to be themselves, or we're so caught up and consumed with how somebody fits into our world, and we're not thinking about how we fit into theirs or how we can be an asset to theirs. I think a lot of the dating rhetoric, whether it is extreme red pill or extreme purple, pink, whatever the female pill is like men should meet all my needs, women should meet all my needs, and there's no like in between. Like we should be focused on meeting each other's needs. I think that there are some men that are like, listen, you know, I'm this guy. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to prove myself. Obviously, I'm the prize. And listen, that's cool and everything. But then you have to also understand that what comes with that is that you aren't going to get the most genuine partnerships. You're going to get the person that's going to dance and do the most to get you. And that's usually not the genuine person. Because if you're not exchanging, or they don't feel they don't get to feel your energy, and they're just doing it based off of what they see on the internet or who you are, that's not a genuine, that's just a person that knows like, okay, this person can take me here. Like I'm doing all this and I'm trying to get all their attention and I'm doing everything I can to get them and get them and get them. That's not genuine, because we haven't exchanged like that for it to be genuine. You know, so we have to think about these things. I think a lot of people get caught up in like, oh, well, this girl is doing all this to get my attention, or this guy is doing all this to get my attention. But why? Why? Why are they doing that? Oh, because on the outside they know I'm a catch. How? Because of what they Googled about you, or because of what it looks like on your platform? Or I think that if someone's trying too hard, I feel like you have to be mindful of what the intentions are. You're trying too hard. Like, it's okay, this person is doing a lot. I think today we tend to go with what's easier because we are a McDonald's generation. Have it your way, as fast as you want it. Consumer, like instant gratification. We don't understand delayed gratification. We go for what's easy. And a lot of times that is not what you need to take. Usually if it's harder, it's easier. Okay, I have a shirt that says, if it ain't easy, I don't want it. If it ain't easy, I don't want it. And I think that it's just a sign. Like, I think that I would rather the slow and steady approach, getting to know somebody, you know, understanding them. They understand me. They like my energy. I like their energy. We continue to exchange and see where that goes. When I feel like somebody's doing too much to try to lock me down, it's like, oh, that's a red flag. Why? Why are you doing so much? Why do you feel the need to perform to get me to buy into you? Like you shouldn't feel that way, guys. Nobody on here should feel that way. So I think when you see a woman that's doing a lot, maybe being hypersexual, maybe overloading compliments, maybe always calling, always texting, always doing everything she possibly can do to stay on your mind, and like it's kind of like low key chasing you. Yeah, that's to me is a bit of a red flag. You know, don't get caught up in that. Number 4, I put down highly attention seeking, which, you guys, I think that, you know, today's there's a difference, right? I think that it's the way that somebody goes about getting attention. We do have social media influencers. We do know people that get paid off of what they do on the internet, and I don't have any shade towards them because they get paid for it. Not that I think that every dollar is worth making. However, there are people this is their livelihood, so I get that. But I say when it comes down to certain people, and y'all know who I'm talking about, it's like, okay, you're not getting paid for this. Like, we know. It might feel like someone's constantly putting out certain things, and it's like they're trying to attract attention. They're going far to attract attention. They may be posting less and certain things that you're like, okay, you already know what this is. Like, this is not, there's no meaning behind this. This is just you advertising. This is you advertising. You advertising. And here's the thing. I understand us wanting to look good. I understand the internet and being cute. I get that. I'm not going against that. But there is a level. And we all know what that level is. We do. And so when someone just seems like it's like an empty well of attention. Like I've followed people in the past that they post a selfie, and I kid you not, 5 times a day. Or they're posting certain poses in the gym. I have seen wild stuff. I mean, I'm sure you guys have too. You sitting, wearing certain things that you already know is, I've seen a lot. I've seen lingerie. I've seen, no panties on. I've seen a lot. I've seen crazy, just shirt, you see right through it, or it doesn't, there's like a cutoff shirt and you just see the situations, posting, twerking, bikini on, milk being poured on. I've seen it all. Half constantly half naked, doing whatever. Again, everybody has a different measuring stick. I just think that when you're dealing with someone that finds their validation in that way, it can be a sign in the future that they do not have the skill of validating themselves. And so if you don't find a way to affirm yourself, validate yourself, you're going to be seeking to fill up your well from other people. And that can be dangerous because that means I'm constantly seeking attention. I'm constantly my desire to be desired runs me so that I'm not really thinking about what makes, how this makes the person I'm with look. Like, I've seen married women be, I wearing a thong in a whatever in a gym doing the most. And I'm like, you're married. You're not thinking about how that looks to me. I'm a woman. And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to figure out what this is. And maybe you have a brand, or maybe you're trying to, I'm like, this doesn't make your man look good. What you're doing right now don't make your man look good. This makes him look to other men like, okay, your wife is clearly advertising for the attention of others. Like, as soon as somebody else comes through that may be a better deal or a more attractive option, what's going to happen here? And so I say that, and I'm trying to say that delicately because I understand we're living in a different generation where people are making money off the internet, and there's a reason for that. But I think that you have to be mindful when you're trying to have a relationship and having a meaningful one. You do have to be mindful of how someone is validated, because in the future, if you're in a relationship, you don't want to have to worry about the fact that you're not giving her enough attention. So she's out here seeking attention in other ways, because your attention in and of itself will never be enough. No one's will ever be enough. It will be an empty well. And the Bible says when we try to seek validation from outside means, it's like we're like a broken cistern. We can't hold water. Meaning that there's a leaking at the bottom of it, that no matter how much you put in, it will never be enough. And so there's a certain sense of spirituality and self-validation that has to be there, I believe, to have the healthiest of relationships. I do believe that. So attention seeking is tough because that, like, if you're even with, I've been in relationships with men that are insecure. They're always seeking attention from other women, and that causes them to fall into, the validation trap, and they end up being with other women because of their personal insecurities. They like the attention, they feed into the attention, they fall into the temptation, and end up not being faithful because they haven't learned how to validate themselves. And that's a power, that's a strength, right? That's a strength. You would be surprised what I have seen people do for validation. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what people will do to be validated or to feel attractive or to feel desired. You'd be surprised, especially when it's an empty well. People will go to any lengths at times. And I don't think that that's healthy. And that's why I think that's a skill that needs to be there before you consider somebody your wife or your husband, period. I have 10 on here, so I'm only going to choose one more that I think is really important. And all of these are super important. So this is going to be very hard for me to choose. I think the last one I am going to choose on this particular list is healing. And y'all, this is what I need for you guys to understand. I think that we have been taught, we are in a generation where it's easy to move on to somebody else because there's so many people that are readily accessible to us through the social media waves. Okay. We can pop in, pop out, pop in, pop out, pop in, pop out, and we can be in this constant rotation of finding new people. And with that being said, you'll find a lot of people that don't take the time to heal because healing's uncomfortable. Sitting down in front of a therapist or taking the time, whatever that looks like for you, to really be with self, because that's the most important thing. Be with you, be with your spirit, connect with your spirituality, I think is very important. But getting with you and healing from something else versus just finding another person to fill in the space or fill in the gap that somebody else left, that is not the person you want to be with. You just don't. Because at the end of the day, everything that we go through in life when it's traumatic, our brain needs time to be able to file it in the way that it needs to be filed in order for us to be functional in life or at our optimal capacity. And if we're not there and we're just moving from one situation to the next situation to the next situation, we're not healing. We're not growing. We aren't learning lessons. And a lot of times we end up dealing with the same spirit with different faces. So I believe that if someone has not healed and you're constantly in this relationship, you can tell they bringing up their ex all the time. You're in constant comparison with them, or they're completely avoidant. I'm not talking about their ex, but you're basically on a minefield of triggers, and you might say something and you don't know you said it the same way the ex said it, and now you're being I don't know, interrogated. There's just so many different things. When someone has not healed and taken the time to heal, that is a red flag. That is not wifey material. That is not somebody you decide we gonna do this together. Because a lot of times, guys, especially younger men that watch me, y'all can fall into the trap because you're super attracted to somebody, you really, really like them. You fall into the trap of like, oh, when a woman talks a lot about her ex, but it's negative, that means she's over him. No, that means she's not over him. When someone talks about their ex constantly, whether in a negative light or a positive light, positive light can suggest, but if it's constant, they're always bringing up their ex. That's a sign that's who's on their mind. Straight up. If you do something and they're like, oh, that's what my ex used to say, that's what my ex used to do, that's where my ex and I used to go. That is a sign, y'all. That is a blaring sign. And you can't like somebody so much that you ignore the signs. All right. You got to say to yourself, okay, I understand you done been through some things and that's cool. But if you have not taken the time to heal, that means you're going to probably end up bleeding on someone that didn't cut you. So it's very, very important that if you notice that somebody has not gone over, you can't write new chapters if you haven't finished writing the old ones. If they have not taken the time to fully get through whatever that is, whether that's, finding closure. Again, closure is not a two-way thing. You can find closure within you. Okay, you and you can have a conversation and be like, is it over, Sam? It's over. Okay, that's closure. Because I've made my decision based upon what I have, the data I have, whatever that may be for me, and whatever that may be for you. A lot of people are like, oh, I need to sit down and have a conversation with my ex and have closure. No, that's reconciliation. What do we need to talk about? What do we need to figure out? A lot of times, y'all, we be hooked up or stuck on questions that need to be answered for so long, and it keeps us from moving forward. And that's how I know it's the enemy that's sending those things to us. It's the enemy that's keeping us stuck. The enemy doesn't want you to continue, to win, to get further. He's going to use little meaningless things to keep you stuck and thinking about where you are right now so you can't progress. So do not get caught up in this, oh, we need to have a closure conversation. I need a sorry. No, you can move on without a sorry. You can be like, okay. Even if you got the sorry, then the next question be like, well, why'd you do that? Why'd you hurt me? No. Closure is a you and you situation. These are the facts of the situation. I now have to make a decision based upon the facts, an executive decision. And my executive decision is X. And so now I have to move forward in wisdom, knowing that based upon the information that I have, not the information I don't have, not the potential, not the what ifs, right now, what do I have right now? Based upon this, I have to make an executive decision. That is my closure conversation. If I need to write a letter and I rip it up or burn it, whatever it is, to say, hey, blah, 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 you did this hurt me, blah, and you have that whole thing, burn it up, let it go. That is closure. Move on. Okay. And when people have not taken the time to reflect not only on what had happened in the past, but how they showed up, what lessons they can learn, it's problematic for me when people leave relationships and they didn't come in, they don't have no new epiphanies that they have reached from the relationship. What did you learn from this experience? Every experience I've gone through in life, I've learned something from. Oh, I learned that women are crazy. Okay, well, we didn't. I've learned that all men are cheaters. Okay, all right. So what can you take from it? Because we can't control other people. We can only control ourselves. So what can you take to the next situation that will make you a better partner? Because everything we go through, we grow through. And we can become better or we can become bitter. It's up to us. So again, those are 5 signs, y'all, that somebody is not wifey material. Now, if you have any other signs that you would like for me to talk about, or if you would like me to do a live where I talk about all 10 signs that I have listed, I will. So just comment below. Otherwise than that, you guys, I love y'all. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope this enlightens you. I hope this does something to your spirit. Okay. That's what I'm hoping. All right. So anyway, love you guys. I will see you guys soon. And if I don't know, this might be a Monday when this is released. Remember, Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, y'all, I'm going live with y'all. So please come on. We're having lots of different conversations. I'm talking about something that's really crazy this week. So anyway, I would love to see you guys there. All right, family. I love you guys, and I will see you guys soon. Have a great night. Bye-bye. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you guys. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, y'all. Let's not just be every once in a while. Let's become family, okay? Friends that are family, okay? Join my family today.